And so, after a week in which off-field issues have caused such angst amongst the A-League fan base and beyond, and brought about the league's latest existential crisis, we try to refocus on the football. The active fans will stage a walkout at the 20-minute mark to register their protests, but the players must simply get on with their job. And for both these clubs, there is a big job to do tonight with the busy festive schedule ahead. So the home faithful gather in expectation of perhaps seeing their team win back-to-back matches for the second time this season. They got off to that flying start, of course, wins over Perth and Wellington, and then 3 consecutive losses before the win over the Mariners. And perhaps because of that, Arthur Papas sticks with the winning team and goes with the 11 that did the job in Gosford last week. Dane Ingham and Matt Yerman go up against one of their former employers. Yerman and Natta continue to keep Jordan Elsey on the bench in defence, which also includes Jason Hoffman. If he comes on, he will break the club appearance record of 210, which he currently holds jointly alongside Ben Kantarowski. Reno Piscopo and James McGarry remain on the sidelines and aren't involved in the matchday squad. Now, as for Brisbane Roar, they make 2 changes. Carlo Armiento returns to the starting 11 after winning that late penalty against Adelaide last week. And Jordan Holmes is back between the posts in preference to Macklin Freak after completing his suspension. Charlie Austin, of course, plays his final match before returning to the UK. And former Newcastle Jet Connor Chapman is on the bench. All set to go. In excess about to be turned off on the PA system, and Newcastle Jets get the ball rolling. And thankfully, Danny McBreen, we've got football to look forward to after a rather tough week. Which way does this one go and why?
Well, I guess it all depends on whether Brisbane Roar can find their scoring boots. It's been a constant thorn in their side for a number of months now, leading back into last season. And they want to send Charlie Austin off in style. But it's the Jets who want to double down on their first F3 derby win last week in a year. I think, for me, the Jets at home, they should be looking to take the 3 points. It hasn't been a happy hunting ground in New South Wales for Brisbane, so all to play for tonight.
Yeah, oddly, they have won on 12 occasions at this venue. It's one of those statistical anomalies that the A-League occasionally throws up.
Well, of course, you'd get me with one of those stats, wouldn't you?
You knew I would. You can see the Terrace Nova Castro behind, bringing the noise, at least for the first 20 minutes. Off the head of Daniel Steins, and then return from whence it came by Scott Neville. Bahaja couldn't control it, and it's all the way back with Matty Yerman. He had 2 years as a Brisbane Roar player, 31 appearances between 2011 and 13 before going off on his travels. It's a rather weak clearance from Courtney Perkins, and Darts Melly will pick it up. Thought about the shot, the Georgian, who laid on the assist for his compatriot Becca Mikkeltadze for the winner last week in Gosford. Now Jenkinson back with Darts Melia. Mikkeltadze. Natta. Turned back to him by Daniel Steins, who laid on that peach of a cross for Trent Bahaja to get things going for the Jets last week. And they're enjoying a good little spell of territorial dominance here, the Jets. Can they find anything at the end of it? Darts Melia. Everybody bar Charlie Austin behind the ball for Brisbane. Angus Thurgate in the channel. Jenkinson behind him. Now Darts Melia. Patient stuff by the Jets.
That's a very patient approach. We heard the Jets players last week saying that Arthur Papas in the World Cup break wanted to concentrate a lot on keeping the ball and really winding the opposition down, wearing them out, moving them around, short passes and moving together, which is a staple of his style of play. I'm just looking at the pitch there, and you see it's been relayed after Supercross, I believe. Just wonder if that's conducive to the style that the Jets like to play.
those different segments of turf can throw up the odd bobble. That's a lovely ball through, and Newcastle onside, and off the frame of the goal by Angus Thurgate. And Daningham trying to bend it into that top corner. Well, you might remember last week against the Mariners, Marco Tullio struck the crossbar in the opening minute. This time it's the Jets, and that was a lovely ball from Dartsmelia. Thurgate rattled the frame of the goal.
It was a wonderfully timed run from Becca Mikkeltadze, wasn't it?
Now Bahagia with pace down the right-hand side. Mikkeltadze waiting in the box. Scooped away by Neville. Dartsmelia trying to return it to his compatriot. And they'll reset through Jenkinson here. Bahagia. Jets throw. They missed a couple of early chances, you might remember, against the Mariners before getting on the score sheet. Quick release from Jordan Holmes. Jack Hingham races away. Jets struggling to keep pace. And that'll be a Brisbane corner. Armiento's got to take that into account. And it got plenty of flight, and at the back stick was Danzaki. And the final touch adjudged to have come off Thurgate. Cross from Jay O'Shea. And they'll get a third go. By the look of Charlie Austin, he fancies he wasn't too far away from that. Armiento again from the far side. Aldred at the near post. Austin waiting to pounce. It's a wicked delivery, and Duncan does well. It's Tom Aldred trying to dig the ball out, lash towards goal. They appeal for hands there. Jay O'Shea with the initial effort, and eventually it's Mikkeltadze who thumps it clear. Touched by Mikkeltadze. Dartsmelia trying to wrestle clear of the Brisbane midfield. It's all a bit scrappy in there. Now Thurgate invites Trent Bahagia to have a run at that. And Aldridge went down, I'd say a little bit theatrically. Maybe he was caught by Bahagia. Courtney Perkins. Armiento. Little drop of the shoulder to try and get around Bahagia. It's a strong challenge and an illegal one in the opinion of Kurt Ams, and it produces the game's first yellow card.
Well, I must admit, on first view, I thought Trent Bahagia had got back and got the ball, but there was no complaints. You can see there clearly goes through the right ankle. Yep.
Austin waiting. Aldred at the back post. Armiento to deliver. It's a nice talent. Oh, and Scott Neville should have made better contact with that. The offside flag was up in any case. Here is O'Shea. That's clever. Lovely little manoeuvre that was by the Irishman. Danzaki. Armiento. And he's through. Two defenders with ease. Still Armiento. Chance at the near post. Miliosnic couldn't dig it out, and it's thrashed away by Thurgate. Here come Brisbane again. Miliosnic. A little bit more room this time. Can he find the right delivery? Tries to float it towards Austin, who got his header on target, but straight at Jack Duncan. Little pocket of space for Danzaki. And it came off Dane Ingham. A cluster of players blocking Jack Duncan's view. Didn't he do well? Returned back with interest by Aldred and scrambled clear by Bahagia. Brisbane on the front foot here. Armiento. They've got 5 corners. Armiento, similar sort of area, headed powerfully away. And Newcastle survive another set-piece raid. How can they break? Dartsmelia. Mikkeltadze and Bahagia. Bahaja is onto this, and Newcastle have two at the back post waiting. Bahaja to try and float it. And chasing back was Jack Hengert. Crucially so for Brisbane. Miliusnic. Danzaki in position. Armiento on the left. And the end sort of betwixt and between, wasn't it? Yeoman. That's a touch from Jenkinson, and Bahaja lost his footing under pressure from Aldred, who thinks that's rather a soft decision from Kurt Ams, but the Jets have a free kick. That's Melia to deliver. Which way does he go? Square. Oh, that's a training ground move. Half-time, plenty of endeavour in that opening stanza. Just lacking a little bit of quality. The verbals continue. And the closest the Jets have come is through Angus Thurgate, who struck the frame of the goal. Carlo Armiento has provided a couple of good deliveries at the other end for Brisbane. At the break, it is goalless. Newcastle Jets 0, Brisbane Roar 0. Hingert. Danzaki, that's nice football by Brisbane. And over the top for the run of Miliusnic. He's not got a lot of help. And Natta shuts him down, makes another block, and in fact, it'll be a goal kick. Final touch was off Miliusnic. Great work by the young defender in an attempt to try and break the deadlock. That's Mohammed Al-Tai. He's more of a defensive midfielder. Brisbane pinged, Newcastle pinged again, and well, I did say that Jenkinson was on his last warning.
Well, he's going to enjoy his last game as much as possible, isn't he?
He'll enjoy it more if he can get on the end of this cross. Again, it's going to be Armiento. And it's a flat delivery, and Austin did get on the end of it. Blocked by Duncan, and thrashed into the side netting by Miliusnic. Brisbane were pretty close there.
Well, it's another good ball in from Armiento. He's been fantastic with his delivery tonight. You see there on the Harvey Norman replay. I think it comes all the way through to Tom Aldred, actually. Jack Duncan forced into a save.
Ingham. And Sotirio and Hingert colliding, and Hingert is going to be penalised.
And then got himself in all sorts of trouble there, Jack Hingert. Was too close. Opened up the channel inside and had to put his body across Sotirio, and looks like he's injured himself in the process.
And it looks like he's got the worst of that, Jack Hingert.
You see here, he just gets too tight and he just stops.
Sotirio doing his job. Making him under a bit of pressure here. Given away by the Jets, could be costly. Armiento looking for the angle, and driven over the top by Kai Truin, who continues to wait for his first goal in the A-League men's. The ball has gone out, and it's going to be another couple of changes for the Jets. Trent Bahaja withdrawn, and we're also going to see Jason Hoffman on in place of Carl Jenkinson. And the applause not just for Archie Goodwin, but also for Jason Hoffman, who breaks a club record as he comes onto the pitch. His 211th game in Jets colours, which eases him past Ben Kantarovsky on the all-time list. That's all competitions.
Yeah, it's a fantastic achievement. He's still doing his best Freddie Mercury impersonation as time goes past.
I'll tell him you said that. Let's see if the Jets can break free. Towards that near post area, Aldred threw himself at it, and he's collided with Nikol Tadza. Now for Akbari and Danzaki, and the overhead kick, and in! At the second attempt by Nikola Miliusnic. And Brisbane, who've had the better chances in the second half, make the breakthrough with just over 10 minutes to go. The overhead kick didn't quite work, but the follow-up was good enough to get past Jack Duncan.
Well, it was a wonderful ball in on the Harvey Norman replay, and you see the Newcastle Jets defenders just went out without following the defenders. Riku Danzaki gets up wonderfully well. The header comes back across, and the spectacular effort from Mile Uznic. Jack Duncan thinks he's done enough, but off the ground, Mile Uznic lifts it into the roof of the net, and they have been threatening Brisbane Roar, and they take the lead.
Well, had the first effort got in, that would have been a goal of the season contender, but I'm not sure Brisbane will care. They all count. It's a first of the season for Nikola Miliuznic. And with Charlie Austin about to depart, perhaps he is one of the answers to their goal-scoring problems. They take the lead in a game for just the second time this season. Will it be enough for the 3 points?
Well, my prediction was if Brisbane did a score, that would be the only score of the game. So it's up to Newcastle Jets now to prove me wrong.
Let's see what they can do. Dartsmelia, Thurgay. Mikkel Tatsa, it's found the way through. Saturio goes down there, appealed for a penalty. Nothing given as yet. Still alive for Ingham. Jay O'Shea with the crucial challenge, and on we go. Mikkel Tatsa. The Jets stung by that opening goal. Left a bit short by Danzaki, and then O'Neill is fouled by Akbari. And the tempo has gone up a couple of levels. Hoffman. Dartsmelia, it's a nice angle ball for Satirio. Goodwin. Quite get clear of Scott Neville. And there's a foul by Satirio inside the D, which will relieve that bit of pressure on Brisbane. Within sight of their first win on the road of the campaign. That's a foul on Natta by Knowles. That's going to be a card for the Raw substitute.
It was a silly foul, that one. No need.
Into the first of 6 additional minutes, which will fly by for the Jets. Only creep forward for the Raw. Danzaki. He claims an assist for the goal. Intelligent header back for Nikola Miliuznic. Natta. So push on Mikkel Tatsa, nothing doing. And it rebounds off Goodwin into the arms of Holmes. Never short of a word or two, is he? On balance, Macca, if it stays this way, is that the right result for you?
I think it's a fair result, yeah. Although the Jets, particularly in the first half, have had a lot more possession, haven't really created much, and it's Brisbane who have created the better chances, put in better crosses, have looked like scoring, and have defended resolutely.
As they continue to do. They want handball there, the home fans. Connor Chapman, one of their former favourites. Hoffman. Too high for Ingham. And we're into the third of those 6 additional minutes. And they might not get too many more opportunities. And Arthur Papas cutting a very, very frustrated figure. The good news for the Jets, if there is any, if they lose this game, they don't have to wait too long to try and turn things around with that game against the Mariners on Wednesday. And if you can't get fired up for a local derby, you shouldn't really be in football.
Exactly right. And the new trophy on offer. even more meaning.
I know you love that trophy, Macca. Staying down, and Kurt Am's just indicating he's going to add those additional seconds on.
Well, I think we're all in favour of that, aren't we? It's been one of the highlights of the World Cup that they've added plenty of minutes when teams have been time wasting.
Absolutely.
See plenty of football.
It's desperation time now for the Jets. Have to get the ball forward. Hoffman trying to do that. Sotirio. Foul by Chapman. Free kick. Chance for them to throw the ball into the box. Might be all on this for the Newcastle Jets. Brandon O'Neill's delivery helped on at the near post and off the woodwork. Did Jordan Holmes get a touch? I fancy he did. Gets the congratulations of his teammates. Keeps Brisbane's noses in front for now at least. Corner for the Jets. Late drama perhaps. Thurgate's delivery. Away by Hoare. Picked up by O'Neill. Mikkel Tadza goes down too easily, and he's going to get a booking for simulation, and it's going to end in more frustration for Newcastle. But this was oh so close, Macca.
Oh, it was a wonderful header from Sotirio, and you thought there's no chance that Jordan Holmes was getting near that. Fingertip touch onto the post and away from Connor Chapman. Look at that, full stretch, barely a fingernail in it.
Got to go quickly. Jordan Elsey. Away by Neville. Reset through Sotirio. Now O'Neill. Into the 7th minute of added time. They just have not been able to find the quality. Check of the watch from Kurt Ams. And that is full time, and fist bumps all round and applause from Warren Moon. Brisbane's home from home delivers yet another win. They're grateful to their goalkeeper who made that miraculous stop of Josh Sotirio's header deep into stoppage time. At the other end, Nikola Mileoznic with his first of the season proved to be the match winner. It's a 13th success at this venue for the Roar. Brisbane into the top 6 for the first time this season. It's full time at McDonald Jones. Newcastle Jets 0, Brisbane Roar 1.